All right. Thanks, you guys, for being here, and appreciate it. I know it's coming, so I'll just tell you we don't know anything about Riz yet. So I think she's being evaluated and checked out, and I actually don't think we'll know really anything till tomorrow morning. But we'll go from there. So I really don't know anything yet. I think the reality is that we're not a very good team yet, and I did like our energy for each other. I think there were some things that we did, 28 points in the paint in the second half. I really challenged them to get the ball inside the second half. Thought they did a much better job of finding Imari. We got downhill with J. Penn and Riz a little bit more. I thought we had, we had 10 kills in the game. And kills are when you get 3 kills, 3 stops in a row. But what happened is, we got these great stops and then even live ball turnovers and then just made really silly turnovers. And so just instead of building the energy and, let's get another one, let's go, it deflates us. And then we end up giving up a silly play. So we got to cut those errors down. And I just told them in the locker room, the reality is we're not tough enough. We're not together enough. I believe you guys want to do the right thing. We got some bad habits. And don't let 2-0 deceive you. You got to let the pain of the things we're not doing be greater than the pain it'll take to change. And the reality is change is hard, and we got some stuff we got to change, and we got to change it fast. And, it's going to be important that we do that. And my job is to become a better teacher every day, every week, every game, and try to help put these kids in positions to be successful, but they also have to be really good learners. And I have to be a relentlessly better teacher, and they need to be relentlessly better learners. And we just got to keep focusing on getting better.
Coach, do you think that it's the team just needs a little bit more time? Because in the first game as well, it seemed like it was a slow start, and then we got better in the second.
Both games, we got outscored in the first quarter, both games, and did not execute the scouting report either time. And, we have a saying in our team, all the time, that the tougher, more together team wins. But every game that might look a little bit different. What are you trying to take away? And I just told the team in the locker room, we got to learn from that. Both quarters, we weren't ready to go. And I pointed to practice yesterday. We finished really well in practice yesterday, but how did we start? And they said, not very well. I said, that's a habit that has to change. And you have to take responsibility for that. So we still have, we need more talk and we need more effort plays. We got a few more than we did versus Pepperdine. I was pleased in the second half. They were 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. I thought we made those much tougher, and the one that they got was by a non-shooter at the end of the shot clock. So I thought that was improvement. But yes, I'm really concerned with out of the gate not being locked in and not executing our scouting report and then having to make up time, down the road. We won't be able to do that versus Virginia on Sunday.
And just really quickly, what are your thoughts on Izzy? Not the most points, but I think she led rebounds. And
I think she's been huge. I asked our team, okay, what was the most inspiring play of the game? And that's what they said. The play where Izzy got, switched out onto their point guard. She sat down, got a tip, then dove on the floor, got a hustle play and the 50-50 ball. That not only is great for that possession, that inspires everybody else. And so I'm actually really pleased with the effort and progress of Izzy Anstey. And, we're thrilled to have her. I think she's just been practicing really well. She's been very intentional, really worked through her footwork and her go-to moves inside and tried to really simplify her reads, and she's just becoming much more confident. And I think she's going to be a huge factor for us, and I'm excited for how she's coming along. I think she's probably been our most consistent energy player, and I think that's been a huge piece.
Hey, Coach. Defensively, it seemed like, tonight and even, the first game against Pepperdine, that some of those shots they were getting in the first half, especially those threes were wide open.
Yeah.
Just what changed defensively? It seems you locked up a little bit in the second half. What changed? And then what do you have to do, to bring that defensive intensity from the get-go?
Well, if I knew, I would have solved it already. I think we're not a real confident group right now. And I think sometimes when you haven't earned that confidence, you tend to watch plays, then react to plays instead of anticipate plays and make plays. And we've got to change that. A lot of those, they drove downhill. We had good help rotation, then skip pass out, and just no reaction time. You got to close out and beat the ball. but it's like we're hoping something good happens instead of making something good happen that's under our control. And, I mean, just candidly, that's probably my biggest frustration right now and I know it's Tasha's and Shannon's that are defensive coordinators on this, and ultimately that's with me, is that we have more in us. So the good news is that we got a lot of room to grow. I think we got a lot be able to really become a great team, but why aren't we right now? And why are we watching plays? I mean, something we got to figure out. Otherwise, we're going to have a whole lot of L's. That's the reality of it. We're having too many plays where we're chasing the ball or we're watching it instead of anticipating and going and making a play. And it's just got to mean that much to you. You got to sit down in a stance. You got to talk about where we are. I think the biggest thing, you cannot be a good team without communication. Just can't. And we refuse to do what it takes to go from being a group of individuals to a cohesive team. And it's really frustrating, quite frankly, as a coach, because I know it, they know it. We try to hold the standard and try to really hold them accountable to that in practice. We show it to them on film, and we got to figure out a way to change it real fast.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. You talk about the frustrations a lot, but I noticed, like, you can do turnovers and things of that nature. You still encourage your team. How was it important for you to continue to encourage them in that moment?
Well, I think, as a coach, I think Coach Wooden has a saying. He says, the biggest form of partiality is to treat every player the same. And I would add to it, to treat every team the same. This team doesn't have their total identity yet. And I tried really lighting them up against Pepperdine, and they've gotten the wrath side of me, and especially the last week. And I just didn't think that was going to be effective. In the end, I'm trying to hold the standard, but I need to help them grow. And if what I was doing wasn't helping them grow, I'm not going to rah-rah them. I'm not going to sugarcoat, but I didn't think it was going to change the behavior to light them up. So I just tried to be very calm and say, this is the standard. This is where we're falling short. This is what it's going to take to get there. What are you going to choose? And so, I just think coaching is such an art form. It's not a scientific formula. And how can you know your team and know your individuals and still never lower the standard of teaching, but maybe the style changes.
And you talk about not sugarcoating anything. You got you're 2-0 right now, but you're still pretty tough on it. Is it because you know that it's teams that's not going to allow the mistakes to happen?
Well, the reality is, I know what's coming. I know what the playing in the #1 conference in the country is. And, it's about preparing for growth. And it's about being urgent about what does the team need from me? And am I delivering? Can they count on me to do my job? And right now, they know they can't. We are not consistent on doing our job with the things under our control on a consistent basis for the sake of the team. And that's disappointing. But it really erodes their own inner confidence because they know they haven't earned it. People always say, can you give your team more confidence? No. They have to earn it by conquering hard things. And I can't let up. I got to provide the struggle and the joy, but the struggle and the joy together so that we learn to conquer really hard things so that we earn the confidence we're going to need playing really good teams ahead. And, I know what the standard is. I told them the other day in practice, look, guys, I know the roadmap. I'm confident in that I can lead you there. The question is, will you let me push you to those places? Will you let me push you to those uncomfortable places and step up and compete, respond, conquer, fight for it every inch? Can we be 3 possessions better today? And can you be that urgent about it? And that's what they got to choose. And my job is to make it really uncomfortable if they don't.
Hi, Coach. You talked about Mari and her scoring, especially in the second half. It looked like in the first half they were kind of, denying her a lot on post entries and whatnot. I guess what changed in the second half? Was it something they were doing defensively, or how are you guys just able to get so many more post catches for in the second?
I think it's a two-way street. I think that We need to get better at when she posts, no understanding angles, creating the next catch to make sure we get her the ball more often. And Mari needs to aggressively attack tempo to create more scoring touches. It's both. And she can grow in her consistency in that, and our team can grow in our ability to find her. I mean, they tell her all the time, you're a bucket. But I also tell her that great privilege comes great responsibility. If you're going to be a GOAT, every scouting report's going to be centered around her. And we want to move her around and do that, but she's going to have to play at a higher tempo, and she's going to have to understand how to really set things up and be more explosive, and she can do it. She's got great feet, and she can do it. You can see it when she puts her mind to it. I thought she ran the floor better in the second half, too. I really believe in Imari Thomas. I think she is spectacular. Her basketball IQ, she just needs to play with higher tempo for longer periods of time. And we have to do a better job of rewarding her for that.
And then just one quick follow-up.
Sure.
Obviously, you talked about charisma already, but I think there was 3 other injuries in the game. Izzy, Natalie, and Kayla, I believe. Anything on them? And then also...
Yeah, I think they're fine. I think, they might have had a little tweak here or there, but I don't think it's anything serious with those other 3. And I don't know yet with Riz where we are with it. But, I've had a lot of practice at adjusting to adversity with this. So, I think it's really important for me as a leader to just be very solution-minded, to focus on the things under our control, and to provide pathways to be successful no matter who we have out there. And with every difficulty comes opportunity for some. For Dominique, I liked how she really attacked the basket at the last part of the game, and thought she did some aggressive things. And I think we're going to need her, right? If Riz is down, I thought how Jay Penn came in and played the 1. Jay Penn has never played a point guard position her entire life. And, when Riz went down, she stepped up, and I thought we ran the high flat ball screen for her, and she attacked space well. And I think she did some good things that way. So, I don't think those other ones are serious. I don't know yet about charisma. And so, but, my job is to care for charisma and come alongside charisma, and then to lead our team to do things and to know that they're ready and prepared to do so.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, we'll do whatever you guys want. I thank you guys for being here. Go ahead.
Coach, this is the last one. I want to take you away from the game for a second. You and Baron Davis, y'all support each other a lot. I saw your post today. How's it important to have that relationship with UCLA alumni?
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the reasons we got the #1 recruiting class in the country, is because our alumni are no joke. They back our program, men's and women's, players, and we have some of the most elite alumni in the country. And they're not only role models. I mean, Baron Davis is one of the best guards to ever play in the NBA, but he's also an entrepreneur. He's a great businessman, and he cares about what we're doing in the community. And he got on to Bruin Table Talk last year and talked about his relationship with Earl Watson. And the list goes on and on. Today I got to feature my friend Baron Davis, but he's going to have a cook-off with Charisma Osborne coming up. And he just has come alongside our program. And I, today it was Baron Davis, but I could go down the list of men's basketball, women's basketball alumni specifically, as well as many others, and just be so appreciative. They set our players up to be not only to make UCLA a 4-year decision, but a 40-year decision. Because once a Bruin, always a Bruin, and those Bruins have our back. Anyone else? I really appreciate you guys' time. We need you all, so thank you so much for that. What I said to the crowd, I mean to you guys as well. We're going to grow to be a really good team. We're not there yet. But you guys telling their story, you guys saying that they're important, you showing up tonight, you're a part of our growth process, and you're a part of, more importantly, growing women in sport. And that's not just an issue for us growing our program. This is a cultural issue. We need to be role models to little girls. It's a really important thing. And so you guys are a part of us growing that. And so I really thank you for that. And please keep showing up and telling their stories, because it's important on the court and off the court.